and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be doing my very first ever wrap-up video. I decided to do wrap-up videos because I was thinking, well, what if I want to talk about books that I am not doing review videos for, but I still want to talk about them? And then I went to a Book Utopia's channel, saw her wrap-up video where she gets to talk a little bit about all the books she got to read during that month, and I thought I should do that. So, without further ado, my wrap-up video! First book I read for the month of July was Catherine of Aragon, The True Queen by Alison Ware. I hauled this in my last video and I already said that I got to finish it. I absolutely loved it. This is my first full-length, not YA book that I've read about Catherine of Aragon, and it's my first Alison Ware novel, and I very much enjoyed the experience. I really am excited for this series because it is the 6th Tudor Queen series, which means in the next few years she's going to be releasing a novel about each queen, each wife of Henry VIII, and I'm very excited, and I can't believe that she's only doing one a year, which means 6 more years, but it's worth the wait. She really is a good author, and now I know what everyone is talking about. Next book I read for the month of July is The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. I already did a review of this, which you can watch. Link here. If you don't know, this is set in a weird, not real, alternate version of Russia way back when, where two sorcerers battle it out to be the Imperial Enchanter. I put most of my thoughts about this novel in my review, so just go ahead and watch that if you wish. Next book is another one that I already did a review for, so I'm gonna again put a linky link over here, and it is No Love Allowed by Kate Evangelista. It's a nice, light, chick flick-y kind of book. It's very short. Pick it up if you want like a day read or a beach read or just a fun read. And again, thoughts, review, link. Didn't think I'd let you get away for this long without a Tamora Pierce reference, did you? I finally reread the first book of the Tortall series that Tamora Pierce ever wrote, and it is Alana, the First Adventure. Please don't judge the sucky cover. Do not, do not, do not. It's bad. I'm just gonna refer to it like this. It's been a good while since I've reread the series, and it was great to just read it again. You read a book that's so familiar, at the same time it's been a while since you've read it, so things are new, but at the same time, yeah, I kind of remember that happening. The reason why I decided to start rereading books, even though I have a huge ass TBR pile, was because of the next book. This month I also finished up The Night Sister by Jennifer McMahon, and this is a horror novel. I am a scaredy cat, man, but I still love reading horror novels, but I can't read them at night. Who can read them at night? So I decided while rereading this, I would reread Alana. So I would read this during the day and read this during the night, and I was just a very happy bookworm that way. The Night Sister, the setting itself is creepy. It's in this old abandoned motel. It takes you through 3 points of views, one in the 50s, one in the 80s, and one in present day. All these events that happen at the motel tying up. It was a very good read. I enjoyed it. It's general fiction. If you guys are interested, it's not YA. I didn't like that there was a supernatural element to it. From the back, it just seemed like it was your modern day horror, psychological. Something happened, people being the monsters instead of, you know, these supernatural people being monsters. Next book I read for the month of July is also a Tamora Pierce novel. Of course, I read the first book. How could I not read the second book? I reread this while I was finishing up The Night Sister, so it was again one of those night buffers, I like to call them, when you're reading a horror novel and you can't read it at night, but you still want to read at night, so you add another book to your reading list. Again, please don't judge the very bad cover. I really don't like looking at the covers, but this is In the Hand of the Goddess. It's the second book in the Alana series by Tamora Pierce. There's not much I can say because you guys know how much I love Tamora Pierce. I also read for this month, I read quite a lot this month and I'm very proud of it. I also read The Queen's Vow by C.W. Gortner. This is a novel about Isabella of Castile, a royal that I have not had the pleasure to read about. It was really good to finally be able to read about her, and there are so many things that I didn't know about how Spain's monarchy worked, about that time period in general. If the author wanted to do a chronicle of Isabella of Castile's life, I feel like this book should have been longer for the scope that he wanted to do. For this month, I also finished up Gathering Darkness, which is the 3rd novel in the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. I'm gonna be honest and say it's gonna be so hard for me to judge these novels individually because in my mind you can marathon them and it'll spread out like an epic. In my mind, if I try to look back right now. It's been about 3 weeks since I've read this. I can't tell where one book ends and the other begins. It's one of those novels. But thank goodness I filmed a review right after finishing that book. So that review, which I still have not edited or uploaded, will contain all my thoughts regarding this novel. This month I also finished Spirits Chosen by Esther Freisner. It takes place in, I want to say, 2nd century Japan. Everything was in a feudal system and there are still tribes and all that kind of jazz. As someone who does not know a lot about Japanese history before World War II, learned a lot about their culture. I've been reading her books since I was about 13. All the books I've read of hers I've loved. So just another feather in my cap, or her cap. Don't know how that metaphor goes. The last book I read for this month, and I'm still debating whether or not to do a full-length review for this book. Comment down below if you want to see a full-length review, and it is How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. This has been all over my Twitter feed and all over my Instagram feed, and everyone has been talking about it. So the other day I was like, I'm just gonna go to a bookstore and pray that they have a copy and read it, because I am curious to see what all the hullabaloo is about. It's set in modern day Salem, but it's a story about the descendants of the Salem witch trials. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot, the writing. I didn't particularly love it. I think it's for a younger YA audience, but the plot I very much enjoyed. I love stories about family secrets and history and, let's face it, murder. So wrap up done. I'm just gonna talk about something really fast. It's August. Usually at around this time I would have an August giveaway announcement, as well as announcing the winners from the previous giveaway, which I collaborated with Bookish Songs, aka Bibliophile Soprano, aka Faye, and I still don't have the results of the giveaway because she's in charge of the raffle copter mechanics. But speaking of the August giveaway, I do have an announcement, but it is not about a giveaway. I'm moving to go to school. So no giveaway this month. I'm sorry. I know I said I would do one every month until I hit 1K, but you understand, I figure if I do get a book and just give it away, what happens when the month ends and I'm still not settled and I can't give it? And that would just be a big mess. I hope to resume my giveaway, my monthly giveaways. As soon as I'm settled, I will let you guys know and we can start this giveaway again. And that about does it for my July wrap up. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe. I will see you guys next Sunday or sooner for my next video. Bye guys!